I remember that back in 1956, the old Eastern Assembly abrogated this practice. Okay, so they criminalized it. In fact, you were fined or jailed for calling someone Osu. When Zeke was addressing them then, let me read you this. He said, in his address to the defunct Eastern Regional House of Assembly on March 20, 1956, Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe described the Osu caste system as devilish and uncharitable. And then he said that it was wrong to brand any human being with a label of inferiority due to an accident of history. So the big question, the $1,000 question here is, what does he mean by accident of history?
Please, you need to watch this video. Yes, because this video is very, very important for you to watch it, and is very, very educative because you will learn a lot from it. Now, in Igbo language, there is something called Osu. Now, Osu is said to be used, it is a name actually, that is used on people that are assumed to be dedicated to deity or to gods. All right. So these people that are being known to be dedicated to deity, they are not allowed to associate with people that are not dedicated to deity. In fact, they are not allowed to marry, they are not allowed to mingle, they are not allowed to do anything with the free people, as they call it. Now, there are some states in the eastern Nigeria where this thing is more, and there are some states where it is less too. All right, there are some states that, if you go there, they will tell you, this community is full of Osu, you know, things like that. Honestly, I'm saying this way because I don't like that idea. I don't know where the idea came from. I don't know. I don't know. But let me just continue giving you the little detail I know, because I don't know much about this. They say it started from old, but I don't know. I have not really studied about it. But I wish, personally, I'm just saying this now, I wish that this will be abolished. And I know there is a movement now that is trying as much as they can to abolish this, which I also support. I don't know about you. Now, this has caused a lot of issues, because by the time a young man meets a lady that he loves, that both of them love each other, and, you know, the time the young man will probably want to go and do one or two things, probably to do the traditional marriage and some other things, they will tell the young man, you can't marry the lady because she is Osu. She's from so-so family, and this family is Osu. Ha! God. Honestly speaking, this thing has, you know, brought bad name to so many. So many has also unalived themselves because they are termed Osu. Yes, so please, I want you now to watch this video. I don't really want to talk much about this because, let me say, I know a little about it, but personally, I don't like it. All right, I'm not going to allow you to watch this analysis that our brother gave. And of course, he's one of the people that formed the movement that is actually, you know, pushing forward to abolish this Osu of a thing. All right, so our brother Joe Okechukwu, yes, he's a very intelligent young man. I respect him and I love him. All right, so please, I want you to take time and watch it and listen to what he said about Osu and the way forward. All right, as you're watching it, if this is the first time you are coming across my channel, you can do well to subscribe to this channel, because on this channel, I bring you information of everything that is happening. And not just information, I bring you educative content that you watch and learn. All right, so please kindly watch this video.
The Osu caste system remains one of the most controversial and enduring social divides. Despite modernity and legal prohibitions, this ancient practice continues to shape relationships, marriage, and even opportunities for many Igbo people. Osu caste system, a pre-colonial tradition, classifies certain individuals as outcast, supposedly dedicated to deities and forbidden from mixing with the freeborn called Diala. Historically, they lived near shrines, were excluded from community leadership, and suffered severe discrimination. Although colonial and post-independence laws abolished the system, its shadow lingers, particularly in rural areas, where marrying or associating with an Osu can still bring social stigma. For a discussion about the Osu caste system among the Igbos of Eastern Nigeria, we are now joined by actor Joe Okechukwu. He will be touching on developments in the Nigerian movie industry, popularly called Nollywood. It's good to have you with us, Joe.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, sir. Let's just start, before we delve into Nollywood proper, What are your thoughts on Osu caste? Do you think how it has endured for so long? How are people reacting to it in terms of its acceptability, not just within the eastern region, but elsewhere? Your thoughts?
So Osu caste system is a very obnoxious practice. I have been almost regarded as the poster child for the abolition of this, yeah? And I mean, there was an incident that led me into it. It was something that happened to a young man who dated a young girl for a very long time, and then they wanted to get married, and he, after so many years of dating, and he just proposed to the girl, and they went to do their usual introduction, then before traditional marriage and all of that. After introduction, the father of the girl just suddenly came to the realization that, oh, we haven't even made any investigations, because that's the normal thing in Igbo land. You want to marry anybody, they're going to have to go do some investigation. And so they went to do investigation and found out that this guy belongs to the other side. They call it the other side. So he is of the Osu bloodline. And that was the end of their relationship. And this guy went into a hunger strike for 2 weeks and almost died. They had to break through, through his door to get to him. That was what spurred me into action. And then when I began to research and dig deep into this, because, in my place, amongst Igbos, they always tell you, oh, that was back then, it doesn't happen anymore. It's a lie. It's still so prevalent today. I remember that back in 1956, the old Eastern Assembly abrogated this practice. Okay, so they criminalized it. In fact, you were fined or jailed for calling someone Osu. When Zeke was addressing them then, let me read you this. He said, in his address to the defunct Eastern Regional House of Assembly on March 20, 1956, Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe described the Osu caste system as devilish and uncharitable. And then he said that it was wrong to brand any human being with a label of inferiority due to an accident of history. So the big question, the $1,000 question here is, what does he mean by accident of history? This was why I decided to make a movie. Because the whole of 2018, all I did from January to December was the abolition of Osu caste system, which culminated in a massive event that took place at the Palace of Agukun in Anambra State in December of that same year. So when we finished with that, I said to everyone that I am going to amplify this message of abolition with a movie that would help to psychologically orientate our people. And the only way you can psychologically orientate the people is to present the facts in the movie. So the movie that I have produced, which is now called Osu, is a product of about 10 plus years research on this matter. And that movie explicitly answers the question, why did Nnamdi Azikiwe say accident of history? You know why he did that? He said accident of history because Osu caste system stemmed from transatlantic slavery. All right. And so what happened was that our shrines back then were dreaded. There was even an incident where they said slave masters went there to capture someone who had run into that place, and the shrine struck them dead. When the people found out that this was what was happening, our people now began to run to the shrines to go and take refuge. So when they now went to take refuge, the collaborators of the slave masters realized that, we are losing all the able-bodied guys that we're supposed to catch. They started a propaganda to say that these ones are now the properties of the gods. They are now the outcasts. They are now the untouchables. They belong to the gods. That was where Osu started from. But if you want to know what the real Osu is, the real Osu, ask anybody you can think of. The real Osu were meant to live in the shrine, within the shrine, which is located inside the evil forest, and they were meant to feed from there. They were meant to die there. They were not meant to interact with anybody outside. So the ones who are now out here interacting with everybody are people who ran there to take refuge. That's why Nnamdi Azikiwe said accident of history. So if you look at it, we are not supposed to be practicing this at all. The people we are calling Osu in our midst are actually like us. They are our own people.
Yeah.
So that's what this movie explains. If you watch the movie, we went deep down into the history. By the time you start the movie, the first 15 minutes or so of the movie explains everything to you in black and white.
All right,
so
before we delve into, you know, the details of the movie, I'd like to know what you think Nollywood films, how they've portrayed this Osu caste, and what role they have to play, especially in shaping public perception.
Well, so Nollywood hasn't even done much on Osu caste. All we see is just videos on social media. You saw the one that happened some weeks ago. I think it was Tunde Ednot or so. He published a video of a girl who was rolling on the floor trying to kill herself. That, look, I was supposed to get married in January and my boyfriend just found out that I'm Osu and he said he's not marrying again. His people say he cannot marry me. We just see videos like that all over the place. But Nollywood has not really paid attention to this topic. And that's why I decided I was going to make a movie. Not just a movie, but a very big movie, a big budget movie. Cost a whole lot of money to make the movie, but I was happy that I did it. You know why I made it? Because this is a very sensitive story. It's not a story you just delve into, you know. So when I finished with the script, I first of all reached out to my uncle and father, Peter Doche, because he's going to be in the movie. But I first said, I'm going to send it to him. I sent it to him and I said, Daddy, you are a custodian of the Igbo culture. What do you think about this? I'm not telling anybody I want to make a movie until you have approved that this is okay. It took him about a whole week or more to read it. And when he was done, I said this before, he called me and he said to me, congratulations, congratulations, up to 5 times. But, meaning we have got the story
sorry
right.
to button. Are you saying there have not been Nollywood movies portraying this Osu caste?
If there has been maybe one or maybe...
All right, so you have seen it. What do you think? Drop your comment on the comment section and do not forget to subscribe to this channel, right? Do you believe in Osu? What do you think that can be done to abolish this Osu of a thing? All right, because I don't know. Anyway, just drop your comment on the comment section, please. Let's discuss at the comment section, all right? Thank you and God bless you.